So let's just take a quick look at my website, and if you listen to this stuff yesterday, or if she told you what to do, what we're supposed to do, whether or not it happened, we're supposed to look at the day before's assignment, which oh, that's wrong. We're actually supposed to be on Tuesday's date. We're supposed to open up the planning form. So let's take a look at that now. How many people worked on that? It's a pie, a pie. All right, it's like 30 of you. All right, so we'll save this and open it. I'll show you how to do that. If you need to print it out and just write on it, you can do that if you don't want to save it. Like if it works out better for you or you just can't do it this way. But to save it so you can type on it and turn it in, let's go to down arrow under page and we'll go save as. And we're going to go to folder with your name, focus, and so you have to think about this one a little bit. If you're going to turn in, and you have to turn in a planning form, but if you're going to turn it in by using Word, you're going to create a folder. If you're going to just turn in a hard copy, you don't need to create a folder. If you can't figure out what I'm talking about, just create a folder. So let's go new folder. Yeah, some of you might have created a folder. If you have, that's fine. We're period 3, so we'll go 3 underscore last name, first initial underscore, and we'll call it revenue, Revenue, and go inside that. So click on open, and then we'll just rename it revenue, Revenue, and click on save. Revenue. Should be best. I don't want there to be any errors when you're trying to open it, so let's hit the back on Internet Explorer and just leave this open, but minimize it so we can get back to it if we need to. And we'll go start, computer, folder with your name, focus, and let's find that folder we just created, 3 revenue. Holy cow. Might have to delete some of my folders soon. 3, 3, 3 personnel. Oh, there it is. And then double click on revenue. And to save it so we can open it in Word, go File, Save As, Microsoft Word, Word document. So you'll click on that Word document. I'll just leave it open for a few seconds. All right, so click on that, and then it's already named revenue. It's already in the right folder, so just hit save. And it's going to convert it for you. And I don't want you to fill it out now. Just fill it out later. But let's just look at this. What you're supposed to do is put the name of your team, and then you have projected ticket sales at the end of it. So it'd be like Safeco Field, projected ticket sales revenue. And then it says based on the stadium seating capacity 65,000. And we have different sections. The different sections are different prices because some sections are closer to the field, some sections you can barely see, some sections might be in a nice section where they serve nice food. Yeah. So be sure you have at least 5 sections. And then it has number of seats. Each section most likely wouldn't have the same number of seats. You might have some sections with 100 seats, some sections with 30,000 seats. Number of home games is going to be the same for every section. And then we'll put in the formula to add up the total sales. So on the planning form, you don't need to put the total sales. You don't need to calculate it because the planning form is just to help you plan. So you don't need to put in the formulas here. So I'll save you time in writing that out. But if you didn't do this yesterday, don't do it right now. Do it after we cover the Excel part. So let's open up Excel. So let's go to the Start button in the lower left-hand corner. And then just type in Excel, EXCEL, and then enter. Okay, let's go to cell A1. And let's put in the name of your stadium. So it might be the name of your team plus stadium. Like you might call it, anybody have a team out there they want to throw out? What? All right. So Malik says Chase Field. Or so you type the name of the field plus projected ticket sales and hit enter. Really, ticket doesn't have a star in it? All right. Okay, so after you do that, let's go ahead and click on save. So if something happens, we don't lose all our work. So I'm going to click on the save icon. And I'm going to save under the folder with my name. Focus. And we're looking for the revenue folder. If you already did the revenue and printed it out and wrote it out, or you're going to on a hard copy, you could just turn in the file by itself. If you just turn in the file by itself, be sure you give it a good name. So that would be 3 underscore last name, first initial underscore, and it would be revenue, REVENUE, final, FINAL. But if you have it in the folder, if you'd rather just call it revenue final, that's fine too. But be sure if you don't have it in the folder, you put your name and period on there. Go ahead. So let's say I wanted to move Chase Field down. Is that an example? Okay, I could click on it, and then I go to, I move my mouse without clicking, not to the lower right hand corner like we've done before, but just to maybe this edge, and I'll get this 4-headed arrow, and then I can click, and drag it. So if that doesn't work, you could just cut and paste it like we do in Word. Okay, so now I want this to look good, so I'm going to spread the title out. So I'm going to just estimate that I'm going to go through F. So highlight from A through F or whatever you think looks good. And then we're going to click on this icon, merge and center. So click on that, please. And then let's just make it look good. So I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. And I might change the font color. And after you do that, just click on save. We had a lot of computer problems second period, so be sure you click on that every time you make some big changes, because I don't want you to lose your work. All right, so all we did for the last couple minutes was type out the labels here, it's highlighted from A through E, and then shows bold and center. Double click in between all the letters to spread it out. So now we're under section, and you can get creative with the names. Like you can call them maybe even cheap seats, box seats, or even if you want just simple letters like C, D, and E. So we need a total of 5. So you guys decide on what you want to call them, but have 5 sections. And if you did it yesterday, it should come off the planning form. So put your numbers in there. I'm gonna, on mine, I'm gonna add a label down below my cell A8. So I'm going to A9, and I'll add a label saying total seats. And I'm gonna click under my number of seats, and I'm gonna click on auto sum, and it wants to add up only the 2 I put in. I'm gonna add up all 5, and that way I can be sure I have 65,000 seats. So, oh, that's too many. 36,000. There we go. Okay, for number of home games, it's going to be the same number for every cell, or for every one of these 5 cells. Hey, what do you have, Peter? Good. Put in my label, and then I moved directly under the number of seats, and then I clicked on auto sum, which looks like an E that somebody stepped on over on the right side under the home tab. And you have to make sure it selects area you want to add up. So it'd be from C4 down to C8. And then just hit enter. For, I guess, ready to move on? Who needs more time? All right. So try to get this. Okay, so for the total sales, we're going to need to multiply the price times number of seats times the number of home games, and that'll give us total sales per game. So let's click where we want the total sales per game, and then what's the first thing we're going to enter here? Good. Equals, and let's click on what? 30. What's next? Times. So shift in number 8, number of seats times, so shift in number 8, and number of home games, and then enter. So in case you didn't get that, I'll do it one more time. It was equals price times number of seats times number of home games, enter. Yeah, so after you get that quantity and hit enter, you can click back up there, move to the lower right hand corner, When the big plus becomes a small plus, click and hold and drag it down. All right, one more time on that. So let's say I have my total. If I type in the formula and hit enter, I'll be down there. I'm going to click back on my total without clicking on anything else. So my left and right mouse button, I'm not using those yet. When I move to the lower right hand corner and the big plus becomes a small plus, I can click and hold, drag it down, lift up, and I have my total sales per game. All right. Okay, so if we add up all of these, then we'll have our total projected sales for all sections. So let's type that in here in cell D9. So total projected sales is a little bit wide to just expand that cell. So I'm going to try something different. I'm going to click off of total projected sales. So if I type it in, I'd hit enter. I'll click back on total projected sales. And then I'm going to right click and go format cells. And this gives us an area where we could, if we wanted to, change the style. But we're not going to use that right now. We're going to go to alignment and then choose wrap text under text control in the middle and then hit OK. So occasionally, sometimes students can't get this to work. Like let's say you don't see it all or it didn't spread out. What you could do, what happens sometimes is it needs to be adjusted over here on the left. So if that happens to you, like you just see the first part of it, move over to the left where in between the 9 and the 10 and move the mouse till you get the double-headed arrow and then you could double click or just drag it down. Okay, so we have to enter a formula that will add all of this up. So that's just going to be the auto sum. Be sure the right area is selected from cell E4 through E7, 8, E8, and then hit enter. So we have for mine 100 and how much is that? 15 million for the season, but it's not formatted in numbers, or excuse me, it is in numbers. It's not formatted in dollars. So I'm going to highlight the items that should be formatted in currency, and then I'll just click on this icon up here, the dollar sign. And then I should really probably somehow distinguish my totals, make them look different, maybe bigger, maybe a different color. Oh, yeah. Yeah, good call. Whoever said that. What was that? 3. Jonah. All right, so somebody was saying they just have numbers like this. So if that happens to you, just move in between the cells where you have the problem, like the E and the F, and double click, and it'll spread it out for you.